Okay guys, so welcome dito sa ating channel. So, ito yung advanced calculus. So, ito na yung lesson 7 na advanced calculus natin. So, continuity of a function. Okay, so ngayon, ang didiscuss ko is continuity of a function. Next video is about discontinuity. Then next is yung trigonometric function. So, limit ng mga trigonometric function. Then, after nun, balik tayo sa sequence. So, mag-start ako sa Archimedean property, supremum and infimum, then yung sequence. So dun may kita kung ano ba meron sa mga sequence. Magpo-prove din tayo dun using epsilon-delta. Then after nun saka tayo magde-derivative. After ng derivative, Jacobian matrix. Then yung mga apply ko na siya ng matrix. Then lastly yung integral. Okay, so start tayo dito. So lesson 7, so the continuity of a function. So ito yung unang definition. Continuity at a point. Continuity at a point. So definition, a function f is said to be continuous at x is equal to a if the following conditions are satisfied, are all satisfied, meaning are all satisfied. So f is defined at x is equal to a, so meaning f of a kukunin mo. So dapat may value pagkuha mo ng f of a. Next, number 2 or 2i, that's limit of f of x as x approaches a exists. Okay, so dapat nag-exist yung limit. So lastly, number 3, dapat yung f of a equal sa limit ng f of x as x approaches a. So, pag nangyari yung tatlong yan, therefore, pwede mo makonclude na yung function continuous at a specific point at a specific point x is equal to a. Okay, so ito ginagawa to continuity at point, a continuity at a point, so meaning sa isa lang. So, yung ginagawa natin last time, yung continuity, may dinefine ako yung may epsilon delta na definition. Yun naman yung pag gusto mong i-verify kung continuous siya arbitrarily sa lahat. Okay, yun yung gagawin, ipuprove mo siya. Dito naman, iba, tatlo yung test para malaman continuous. Ngayon sabi, otherwise, f is said to be continuous at x equal to a. So, paano masasabi? Kunyari, f of a pa lang, undefined na. Meaning, lumabas undefined, or 1 over 0, or infinity, something, mga ganun. Kunyari, ganun yung lumabas sa value. Dun pa lang sa test 1, sabi mo na, f is not continuous since f of a is undefined. Ganun lang. Pero kunyari, define, may value pa rin, tapos pagdating yung limit, so, kunyari, yung limit, define, limit of f of x exists. So, ibig sabihin ng limit na yan, pwedeng may possibility na baka ang kunin mo left and right. Tapos, at the end, ipakita mo na equal. So, hindi laging sinasabi ko na, basta right away, apply mo yung limit. Okay, minsan may mga function, kailangan mo i-apply muna yung left and right bago makuha yung limit. Tapos, saka natin verify kung equal. Ngayon, ganito mangyari, isa pang case. Kunyari, anong nangyari? F of a, nakakuha ka. Tapos nakakuha ka ng limit. Tapos at the end, hindi equal. So therefore, hindi pa rin siya continuous. Okay, ngayon, pwede mo sabihin, f is discontinuous at x is equal to a. Yun yung sasabihin mo, i-conclude mo after all. Okay, so again, yung limit na yan, pwedeng left and right limit, depende sa given. So usually, pag piecewise function, or may absolute value. Mga ganun yung mga pangyayari. Okay, so let's have example para maintindihan mo yung sinasabi ni sir. Baka sabihin mo, sir, salita, di mo naman sinasabi. So let's have example. So number 1, let f of x is equal to x cubed plus x squared minus 2. Examine the continuity of f at x is equal to 1. So ngayon, dito mo rin malalaman, may sasabihin ako dito na, okay, ngayon ko lang, probably ngayon mo lang malalaman. Okay, so start tayo. So unang test, hindi siya proving, so examine so meaning parang test lang. So test natin for 1, so for I. Okay, so ano sabi nun sa I? F is defined at x is equal to a. So meaning, i-evaluate natin si f of 1. Okay, f of 1 is equivalent sa 1 cube plus 1 squared minus 2. Okay, which is equal sa 1 plus 1 minus 2, which is equal sa 0. Tama ba? So, 1 cube is 1, plus 1 squared is 1. So, calculate nga. Hindi, joke. So, pag kinalculate mo pa yan, bokologs ka. Okay, so, for number 2, plus issue ka sa sarili mo. So, for test 2, kukunin mo yung limit ng f of x. So, kunin mo daw yung limit. So, kunin mo yung limit ng f of x as x approaches 1. Okay, and that is equivalent sa limit as x approaches 1 ng x cubed plus x squared minus 2. Okay, so since wala naman akong gagawin any cancellation, so apply ko na agad yung limit. This is equal sa 1 cubed plus 1 squared minus 2 which is also equal sa 0. Okay, so limit of f of x as x approaches 1 exists kasi may value. Okay, then lastly, for test 3, note that f of 1 is equivalent sa limit as x approaches 1 nung f of x. So, ang masabi ko, si f of x is continuous at x is equal to 1. Okay, so dito kasi equal sila. 0 is equal to 0. Na-verify mo. So, ganun lang kasimple. Sir, ang basic. Yes, ang basic niyan. Ikaw pa ba? Okay, so let's have number 2. So, again ang ginagawa natin na continuity at a point. So, tinetest natin siya at specific point sa isang point lang, hindi sa lahat. Okay, so sa isang point lang natin siya tinetest. So, let's have example number 2. So, let g be defined by g of x be the piecewise function. So, ito yung piecewise function. X squared minus x minus 2 over x minus 2 is for x is not equal to 2 and 0 when x is equal to 2. So, examine the continuity of g at x is equal to 2. Ulit examine the continuity of g at x is equal to 2. So, we have 3 tests ulit. So, for test I, we need to determine g of 2. Okay, ngayon, dahil piecewise function, pag sa g of 2, sino ang gagamitin? Yung nasa taas o nasa baba? Sir, pag nasa taas po, x is not equal to 2. So, meaning, yung mga 2 from the left and 2 from the right lang yung pwedeng gamitin dyan. Okay, it's either x is less than 2 or x is greater than 2. Yun yung ibig sabihin. So, meaning, hindi si 2 yung ginagamit. So, meaning, pag gagamit ko, g of 2, that is equivalent sa, punta sa piecewise function, that is simply equivalent sa 0. Ganun kasimple. Kasi 0 yung sabi. Okay, then test 2. Ngayon, dito mo makikita sa test 2, kukunin mo daw yung limit ng g of x. Kaso, sa limit ng g of x, hindi ko pwede sabihin na, di ba pag sa limit hindi eksakto papunta sa 2. Okay? Okay, so ulit natin limit na to. So, ang gagawin mo, kunin mo yung limit niya. So, at x is not equal to 2. So, before mo makuha yung limit of g of x, as x approaches 2, dalawa pagdadaanan mo. Meaning, limit, ang kukunin mo is yung nasa taas. Yung x is not equal to 2 kasi yung approaches 2. Tama. Since approaches 2 siya, dito ako sa x is not equal to 2. Kasi dyan yung part na papunta lang ako kay 2. Pero never ako magiging equal kay 2. So, ayun ang kukunin ko. So, that is equivalent sa limit as x approaches 2 ng x squared minus x minus 2 over x minus 2. Ayun. Ito yung pinagkaiba nung function sa limit. Sa limit, pwede ka mag-factor, pwede ka mag-cancel. Sa function, hindi. Okay, so sa function, right away, sa substitute mo. Sa limit, pwede ka mag-cancel. So, meaning, pwede kong gawin dito, so, this is limit as x approaches 2. Ang factor na ito sa taas is x minus 2, then x plus 1, all over x minus 2. Then, pwede tayo mag-cancel na x minus 2 dyan. So, ito ay cancel. So, that is equivalent sa limit as x approaches 2 ng x plus 1. Then, substitute natin right away. That is only 2 plus 1 which is equal sa 3. So, limit of g of x as x approaches 2 exists. Okay? So, lastly, test 3 natin. Yung g of 2, obviously, hindi equal kay limit ng g of x as x approaches 2. Since, si g of 2 is 0, then si limit ng g of x is 3. Tama. Therefore, yung limits, therefore, g of x is discontinuous at x is equal to 2. So, walang than symbol. So, ayan. Okay, so ulit, bakit siya nag-discontinuous? Nakita mo kasi na hindi equal yung 0 sa 3. Okay, so let's have more example about dito. Okay, so let's have number 3. Sabi niya number 3, find all values of m such that g of x is equal to x plus 2 whenever x is less than or equal to m, and x squared if x is greater than m is continuous everywhere. So, mamaya malalaman ano ba ibig sabihin ng everywhere na yan. Okay, so for the meantime, hanapin natin yung value ng m. So, using yung continuity at a point. Okay, so una, generate natin ulit si test 1. So, test I, g of m. Kasi m eh. Find all values of m such as g of x. Okay, so anong g of m yan? G of m yan. So, g of m is simply, saan doon? X is less than or equal to m. So, ibig sabihin dyan, pasok si x is equal to m. So, that is equivalent sa x plus 2, or simply this is m plus 2. Okay, so box ka lang. Next is number 2. Okay, so dito, nangyari, kukunin natin limit. Okay, kukunin natin limit ng g of x as x approaches m. Kaso dito dalawa ang nangyari. Dito may greater than m, dito yung less than or equal to m. So possible kukunin mo yung left and right. So from the right, then from the left. So una kukunin ko for letter A, kunin ko yung limit ng x approaches m from the left ng g of x. So, since from the left, so dito sa left side, so sa taas yung kukunin. This is x plus 2. Okay, the right away, so substitute ko dyan si m. So, magiging m plus 2. Next, for letter B, kukunin ko yung limit as x approaches m from the right. So, that is x squared. So, pag in-apply, that is m squared. Tama. Then, sabi ng theorem, mag-i-exist daw yung limit pag equal yung left and right limit. So, meaning, i-equate natin. So, equate si m plus 2 is equal to m squared. So, dito sa part na to, pwede natin mahanap yung value. So, this is 0 is equal to m squared minus m minus 2, which is equal sa 0 ng m minus 2, then m plus 1. So, anong klaseng value ng m? Ang mga value ng m is m minus 2, m is equal to 2, m plus 1, that is m is equal to negative 1. So, may dalawa tayong value dito. Okay, so hindi man natin nahanap yung value ng g. So, ngayon, ang gagawin natin, anong value ng limit? So, ang value ng limit, pag m is equal to 2, is 4. Tama? No? So, pag pinalit natin yung 2, nyari pinalit ko ha. So, when m is equal to 2, this is 4, this is 4. Next, when m is equal to negative 1, this is 1. Tama? The negative 1 squared, this is 1. So, okay, nag-i-exist yung limit. So, ngayon, palit mo rin doon, ganoon din. 2 plus m is 4, negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1. So, equal yun. So, dito, therefore, so, for test 3, yung g of m ay equal sa limit ng g of x as x approaches m. Okay, pero ang hinahanap kasi, find all values of m such that yung m is continuous. So, dito kasi continuous siya at any value of m. So, ito yung sagot talaga natin. Yung m is equal to 2, m is equal to negative 1. So, kasi yun yung pinapahanap. So, napansin mo, saan ko nahanap yung value? Doon sa number 2. Gamit yung ating yung limit, yung kunyari, yung limit from the left and limit from the right. Okay? So, ganyan kumuha ng limit or ng continuity pag specific point yung pinag-uusapan. Ngayon, try natin balikan yung ginawa natin dati or yung dinefine ko, yung dinrawing ko lang pero hindi ko binigyan ng example, yung pagiging continuous. Kailan ba magiging continuous yung mismong function? Okay? So, meaning sa buo as a whole. Okay? So, ito yung definition natin dati, nakakalagay dito dati. So, recall that let f be a function mapping from R to R with domain D. We say that f is continuous at a point A, element of R. So, meaning arbitrarily yan. So, if, number 1, the point A is on an open interval contained in D. Explain ko sa drawing yan. Then, for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0 such that f of x minus f of A is less than epsilon whenever x minus A is less than delta. So, ang tawag dito, sa part na to, tulad doon sa epsilon delta ng limit, if is epsilon delta definition of continuity. So meaning yan yung gagamitin natin para ma-prove na continuous siya doon sa specific point. So ngayon, let's have example. So maikli yung space dyan. Probably pag pinove yan, gaganon yung konti. Pero pagpasensyahan nyo na, hindi ko natansya sa pag-edit. Okay, so at least mapakita ko sa inyo paano prove. So ngayon, hindi to yung specific limit na may ginagawa ka, hanapin may limit or what. So dito, continuous function lang talaga siya. Okay, so sabi nga, show that f of x is equal to 1 over x is continuous on R minus 0. So meaning, yan yung real number not containing yung 0. Okay, so ito yung proof. So let let epsilon greater than 0 be given. Find delta, similar ng ginagawa. Find delta greater than 0 such that f of x. So f of x is 1 over x minus 1 over, let's say, a na lang din tayo. Let's say a, okay, is less than epsilon. Whenever x minus a is less than delta. Okay, next. I-consider natin c. So, consider c1 over x minus 1 over a less than epsilon. Okay, so from here, dito ko na lalagay. So, yung 1 over x minus a. Okay, then simplify further. This is equivalent sa a minus x over xa. Okay, then this is paghiwalayin ko. This is negative. So, this is negative of x minus a over absolute value ng xa. Okay, then this is simply absolute value ng x minus a over xa, absolute value. Note that by definition, x minus a is less than delta. So this is delta over xa. Okay, so ngayon, ito yung medyo kakaiba. So, ang goal ko kasi, matanggal ko yung variable x. So, ngayon, ito yung papakita ko sa inyo. For example, kunyari meron kang 1 over 12. Okay? So, yung 1 over 12 equivalent sa 1 over 4 times 3. Kunyari, inumit ko yung 4. That is 1 over 4 times 3. So, ano masasabi ko? Kunyari, tinanggal ko yung 4. Sino yung mas malaki? Nung tinanggal ko yung 4, mas lumaki. Tama? So, ngayon, ang gagawin ko, tatanggalin ko x. Nung tinanggal ko x, that is delta over a. Okay, so ang ginul ko lang siya, tanggalin ko yung x kasi gusto ko lang yung value ng arbitrary value lang eh. Okay, so after nyan, anong gagawin ni sir? This is equivalent to, so choose delta over a to be equal sa epsilon. So therefore, delta is equal to a epsilon. Okay, after nyan, balik tayo dun sa function. Okay, so wherever, so whenever, so therefore, dito natin lagay, therefore, yung 1 over x minus 1 over a, okay, which is equivalent sa x minus a over xa, okay, ay equivalent sa, ano bang ibig sabihin nun? This is equivalent sa, paano natin sinimplify? Sa x is equivalent sa, less than delta over a. Tama kasi tinanggal ko yung x. Okay, then after nyan, patang ko yung delta, this is equivalent sa a epsilon over a, which is equal sa epsilon. And this is done. So, again, ganoon din kung anong ginawa mo dito, i-apply mo dito. Natanggal, may natanggal, i-apply mo. Para lang lumabas ulit si epsilon. So, ganoon siya kasimple. Almost the same. Ang pinagkaiba lang, may binadagdag bawas. So, usually, laging bawas dito. Nagbabawas lagi si sir. Okay? So, proceed tayo sa example number 2. Okay, so let's have example number 2. So, una oras na. Alauna na. Tuloy pa rin. So, prove that f of x equal to square root of x is continuous on 0, positive infinity. So, kasama si 0. So, tama naman, no? Yung domain niya is 0 to positive infinity, mag-exist yung square root of x. Okay, so, paano ulit yung epsilon delta definition? So, ito yung proof. Okay, so, proof, let epsilon greater than 0. Find delta greater than 0 such that yung square root of x minus square root of a ulit is less than epsilon whenever x minus a is less than delta. Sorry. Parang nota. Okay, so next is consider si square root of x minus square root of a. Okay, so ang gagawin ni sir, sa loob ng square root, magmumultiply ako ng 1 ng 1. Okay, yung 1 na yun is magko-conjugate si sir. Okay, this is less than epsilon. Okay, so this is equivalent sa square root of x minus square root of a multiplied by square root of x plus square root of a over square root of x plus square root of a. Okay, so ganyan ginawa sir. Next is pag minultiply ko sa taas, obviously ang mangyayari that is x minus a over absolute value ng square root of x plus square root of a. Okay, so apply yung delta definition, yung definition doon, x minus a is less than delta. So this is less than delta over square root of x plus square root of a. So katulad din ng kanina in-evaluate ko, for example naman meron naman akong 1 plus 4 plus 3. Kunyari tinanggal ko si 4. Sino mas malaki? Si 1/3. Okay, so goal ko nga tinatanggal ko si x eh. So this is equivalent, or this is less than delta over square root of a. Aray ko. Okay, so since nagawa ko yan, choose natin. Choose delta over square root of a is equal to epsilon. O parang yun yung word na first na ginagawa ko last time. Therefore, this implies that delta is equal to square root of a epsilon. So ito yung value ng delta natin. So yung parang kanina, ito yung value ng delta na lumabas. Okay, then therefore, so to conclude, therefore, yung square root of x minus square root of a, okay, which is equal sa x minus a over square root of x plus square root of a absolute value, which is less than sa delta over tawag doon, square root of a. Tama, kasi yun yung nangyari doon, square root of a. Next, this is equivalent sa patang ko to ng square root of a epsilon over square root of a. Then that is cancelled, which is equal sa epsilon, which is done. So ayun na naman goal natin. Kailangan pag nakuha yung value, upon verification or upon checking, parang checking yung therefore na yan, dapat lalabas si epsilon. Okay, so therefore, ganyan mag-prove ng continuity pag madamihan na. Okay, so yung kanina, tinatest lang natin kung continuous at specific point. So pag sinabi ko prove that this is continuous, ito yung gagamitin mo, yung method na ginagawa ni sir. So next tayo doon sa mga property ng continuity. Okay, then basa-basa na lang almost lagi si sir doon, explain konti, tapos next video na tayo. Okay, so ito na yung properties. So properties of continuity, handa ka na bang makinig sa mga babasahin ko? So babasahin ko na siya, konting explanation. So understandable naman na siya dyan. So parang kumbaga binigyan ko lang ng meaning, tandaan mo. So hindi mo kailangan tandaan yung lahat. Okay, so let f and g be continuous at x is equal to a, and let c element ng real number. Then the following are also continuous at x is equal to a. So tama naman na ulit ha. Si f continuous ka, si g continuous ka. Ngayon yung sum nila continuous ka. Okay? Yung difference nila continuous sa A. Syempre, yung product nila continuous sa A. Then lastly, yung f over g is also continuous at A, provided na yung g of A is not equal to 0. Okay, ulit provided na yung g of A is not equal to 0. Then lastly, yung c times f, yung c is a constant, so arbitrary constant. Multiply ka ng number do sa f, continuous pa rin yun at A. So, yun lang naman yung ibig sabihin yan. Okay, so wala nang masyadong ano yan. So, pag nag-sequence tayo, puprove ko yan. Okay, babalik ako dyan, ipuprove ko yan using yung sequence. So, ngayon kasi wala pa tayong sequence, hindi ko pa pwede iba to. Okay, so let's have definition. Okay, so a function f is said to be continuous from the left at x is equal to a if f of a is equal to limit of f of x as x approaches a from the left. And a function f is said to be continuous from the right at x is equal to a if f of a is equal to the limit of f of x as x approaches a from the right. So, ito naman sa kunyari, 'di ba? Yung tinatest natin kanina. Dito. Okay, so anong nangyari? F of a defined. Okay, pagdating sa limit, dalawa kinuha mo. Kinuha mo yung limit to the right, na limit from the right, saka limit from the left. Ang nangyari, hindi equal yung limit from the right and limit from the left. So, meaning, hindi equal. So, meaning, hindi nag-exist yung limit. Tama? Pag hindi kasi equal yung left and right, hindi nag-exist. Pero ito ang nangyari. Yung limit from the right or limit from the left ay equal kay f of a. Okay, ngayon, kung ganun yung nangyari, continuous siya from the left or from the right. Pero hindi siya continuous at exactly dun sa point. Yun yung pino-point out nito. Okay, so I think may example yata tayo nun. I don't know kung saan, pero okay, wala dito. So wala dito yung example. Yan na, so ulit kunyari lang limit from the right, hindi nag-equal sa left, tapos ano nangyari, yung from the right mo equal pala sa f of something mo, therefore continue siya from the left, then continue siya from the right. So for example lang, kunyari si f of x is equal to 2 minus x. Okay, so ito ay continuous, from, so 2 minus x so isang value na x dapat mag-exist. So, starting sa 2. So, pag nilagay ko 2 minus 2 is 0. Okay pa. So, kunyari, nilakihan ko 2.001. So, 2 from the right yun. Okay, so continuous siya 2 from the left. Pero hindi siya continuous 2 from the right kasi palaki. Okay nga, 2.001, 2.001. Hindi siya continuous doon. So, continuous lang siya from the left at x is equal to 2. Okay, ulit hindi siya continuous sa from the right kasi kunyari 2.002, 2.00001, 2.00001 something. So 2 minus yun, may negative 00 point something. Square root ng negative 00 point something is imaginary. Okay, so hindi real number. Okay, so therefore continuous lang siya from the left at x is equal to 2. Ganun kasimple. So similar din case dun sa number 2. So continuous from the right siya pag ganyan. Okay, ganun yung in-explain ko dito. So may encounter ka ganyan. So, dapat maging specific ka minsan sa sagot mo. Okay, so hindi porket nakita, hindi equal. So, baka maaari continue siya from the left or continue siya from the right. Okay, so next natin is konting explanation na lang din ulit. So, continuity on an interval. So, familiar ka naman ano yung interval. So, we can also consider continuity of functions on interval. So, being continuous on an interval means the graph of a function has no gap or holes on the interval itself. So, ano ba ibig sabihin nun? So, drawing lang ni sir dito. So, for example, may interval dito, interval a and b, kasi ito yung function f. Okay, so sabi niya, being continuous on the interval. So, pag sinabi continuous, meaning, sa lahat ng point dito, pag dumaan siya, walang hole, walang gap or hole. So, meaning, walang nag-form ng bilog or walang nag-form ng undefined ako at specific point. Yun yung ibig sabihin nun pag continuous ka sa specific interval. Okay, so proceed tayo. Let's have definition. So a function f is said to be continuous. Number 1, ito yung everywhere. Okay, number 1, everywhere if f is continuous at every real number. So tanda mo magiging continuous ako everywhere pag sa lahat sa real number continuous ako. Okay. So ganun siya kasimple. So, tandaan nyo na, continuous ako sa lahat. So, kahit saan ko ipalit, so sa buo, kunyari sa negative 1 million, pi, e, So, 2.07 something, square root of something, ganito, continuous ako doon. Okay? So, continuous everywhere, yun ang tawag. Ngayon, so, continuous ako sa open interval na AB if f is continuous at every point x in interval AB. So, meaning sa loob ng interval, lahat ng values na pinapalit ko doon, continuous ako. Next, continuous ako doon sa half closed, half open interval ng AB. Kung continuous ako sa AB, sa open interval, and continuous ako from the right of A. Okay, so meaning from the right yung counting something. So similar dito sa case. So on A o half open A close sa B, if continuous ako sa open interval na AB and from the left of B. Okay, then continuous ako sa closed interval if continuous ako dun sa from the left tas from the right. So sa 3 and 4. So sinatisfy ko yung 3 and 4. Then next is continuous ako dito sa A going to positive infinity if f is continuous at all x greater than A. So meaning continuous ako sa A pataas ko na rin. 2, positive infinity. Continuous dapat ako sa 2.01 something going to infinity. Ganun kasimple. Then i-close ko lang, ganun kasimple, kunin ko ulit yung property 6 then from the right of A. Next, negative infinity B if continuous ako at all x less than B. So from the left naman ng B. Then, ganun din sa 9, similar kay 7. So, si 9, go siya kung mag-exist siya kung mag-exist din yung 8. Okay, so ayun lang naman yung mga continuity on the interval. So, hindi ko na masyadong kailangan explain. So, tandaan mo lang siya. So, malay mo, true or false or something siya. At the same time, magagamit mo siya somewhere, lalo sa mga real analysis. Okay, so ang focus ko kasi dito yung more in solving. So, more in solving, more in nakikita mo. Ang hirap kasi pa-imagine ko sa inyo na pa-imagine, lalo ngayon video. So, mas mahirap. Mahirap ipa-imagine sa inyo yung mga bagay na hindi nyo nakikita. So, magpuproceed tayo sa next topic, which is all about discontinuity. So, magagamit ko pa rin yung tawag dito, yung continuity at a point. So, magagamit ko pa rin yung tatlong yan. So, doon sa discontinuity. Okay, so, hoping na nag-enjoy ka din sa video. Then, proceed ka pa rin sa next video natin.